the killer was chasing the Kate Denson, as you can see here, and hey gamers, welcome back to part 2 of my Survivor 101 series. In this video, I will be explaining the basic things that you should be looking for and doing in your games as a survivor on Dead by Daylight. And ultimately, how to hit your goal of getting out the gate and escaping, or getting through the hatch and escaping, but we'll explain that more as we get into the game. For now, let's get into it and get to those parts. Okay, so here we are, we're loading into game now. And the first thing you have to notice is where you spawn. So for me, I spawned in the shack. At the same time, the shack also has the opportunity of having the basement. So I go into the basement knowing that in the basement you have a chance of finding a chest. There are 3 chests per game at most, and each chest will, when you open them and search them, will give you an item. This one had a medkit, but I'm not taking the medkit, I'm keeping hold of my toolkit for purposes that you'll see later on in the video. But if I needed a medkit, say I didn't have self-care as a perk, and I needed that option to heal, a medkit would have been handy, so I would have taken that. Okay, so that covers chests and the basement. Be careful of the basement, killers do have perks to detect if you are in there or not. But there you go. So next up, let's go over unhooking. As you can see here, I've run around a long route and I've gone to unhook the Claudette who got hooked by the killer. Now, I don't know who the killer is at this point, but because there's no heartbeat or terror radius from the killer, I know it's safe to unhook her. As I unhook her, as you saw, she ran off. Now, I am now currently sabotaging her hook. I'm doing this to 99% so that I don't drop the hook. This is so that if the killer downs someone close to me and I'm near this hook, then I can drop the hook so he has further to take the person. It's a way of helping out a teammate if needed. So, let's move on to generators. So, as you can see, I'm on a generator. And the heartbeat radius is going mad. This is because the killer was chasing the Kate Denson, as you can see here. And here's the killer, it's a lovely little clown. So I come off of the generator to stop him being able to pull me off a generator. Okay. Generators are important. The end goal is to complete 5 generators and then to escape through the exit gate. Or if you do 2 generators and 3 people die, you can escape through the hatch. Now, as you can see, I helped Kate, or tried to help Kate, escape from the killer. At the same time, I have run off to a different location to start on another gen. This is to help progression of the game and keep us on track with our target goal. As you can see, Kate has now been hooked. Now, because I know that Kate has been hooked over there, now that means that I know the killer is roughly in that area. Now, being aware of where the killer is and where other survivors is will help you dramatically in achieving your end goal, which is ultimately escaping. As you can hear now, there is a heartbeat radius. This is the terror radius of the killer. Now, as that gets closer, I know the killer's getting closer to me. But being aware and moving my camera around, I saw that there was a pink cloud of smoke on the floor, which also meant that I can dictate that the killer is chasing someone else. So it means that I can just come back and finish off my generator. So, as I do that, I'll also explain why I didn't go and get the other person off the hook. In the bottom corner, you'll see 4 portraits. Now, if there is a person that's leant over with blood coming out, it means that they've been hit once. This means that they're probably in chase of the killer, or the killer's in pursuit of them. Secondly, if they've got a hook there, it means that they're on the hook. When they come off the hook, they go back into the previous state, which is bent over with blood coming out of them, so you know that they're safe. Okay? Now, at the precise point in time, I am cleansing a totem. There are 5 generated totems on every map. Regardless of what map you're on, there's 5 totems always. Now, if you can find them, take them out. Some killer perks have totem access, okay? So there'll be hexes. So you've got Hex Ruin, slows your progression on a generator. You've got Hex Lullaby, stops you being able to hear skill checks. As you can hear now, just before the little icon comes up for the skill check zone, where you press spacebar to hit it within the little skill check time, you'll notice a little ding sound. That means that the skill check's coming up and you've got to be aware of your screen as to where it is on the map. Now, as you can see here, I've moved away from the generator again because the killer's come up. So, unfortunately, the generator on my right has popped. This puts me in chase with the killer. So, as he hits me, you can see that I've gone into the blooded state down in the bottom left-hand corner. At the same time, I'm now going to run away from the killer and try to lose him. As I do this, I've got to take note of the perks that I've got. Currently, I'm using a perk called Balance Landing. This means that if I drop from a high state like this, I get what's called haste, which means I move faster, and I also suffer with exhaustion. Now, exhaustion lasts for 60 seconds, which is an entire minute, which in Dead by Daylight is a long time. But it does mean that it gives me a little boost in a way that I can get away from it. So, as I try to evade the killer, we have now finished all the generators. So I'm hoping that my teammates are going to go and open the exit gates. I'm still distracting the killer in the hopes that I might escape. Unfortunately, I get down. And unfortunately, I'm right next to the basement, which is why I said, of course. As you can see, what I'm doing here is I'm what's called wriggling. You use your A and D keys to wriggle when the killer picks you up. This gives you the opportunity, if you're far enough away from a hook, to be able to actually escape the killer's grasp and not be hooked. Now, while you're on a hook, don't be too hasty to attempt to escape. You will get 3 chances to attempt to escape on your first stage hook. Okay? This will give you a 4% chance of unhooking yourself. Honestly, not worth it. Okay? If you can see that the other teammates that you have, these little yellow dots, are your teammates. If you can see that they're not coming to get you, then maybe attempt to escape and put yourself maybe into second stage. If you hit second stage, it means that you've got to press spacebar to struggle against the entity's legs from stabbing you in the chest. Hopefully, that won't happen to me. Okay, so as I hit second stage, as you can see, Kate has come to save me and rescue me from the hook. Now, as you can see in the portraits on the bottom left, there's 2 that have a little person running out a door. This means that these 2 people have escaped, which means that I know an exit gate is opened. As I run out, I unfortunately run into the killer. He does try to take a swing at me, but I managed to swing around him. So, what my attempt is to do is to get out the exit gate while the killer is chasing me. Currently, this killer is decided to throw a lot of bottles at me. This is the clown. Later on in the series, we will be going over knowing your killers, and we'll be discussing at length their perks, how their perks work, and how their abilities work, and everything else. So, as you can see, Kate has really helped me out here. She took a slap for me, and that means that both of us get out of the exit gate and survive. Ultimately, this is your goal. I hope this video has helped, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, don't forget, like, subscribe, and share, all that good stuff. It really helps me out, and I really do appreciate it. And until next time, guys, I will see you later. Happy gaming.